Now this was me. I left home a virgin. I wasn't smoking. Now for 13 years I've left home. I've become a cocaine addict, a marijuana addict, a heroin addict, a drunkard, a gambler, a thief that even carries a gun. I've become a rapist. I've been initiated about 7 times into different courts. You understand?
Yes. That was then. And this is now.
So I took off my clothes, I was naked, I took the Bible. I didn't know where to read, but I know I would never smoke it. It is now 14 years. It's going to be 14 years, 7th of May this year. Side of majesty, gave up everything for me. So far out the hands of those you have created. You took my guilt and shame when you died and rose again. Now today you reign in heaven and be exalted. Worship you, my Lord. You have won my heart and I am yours. Forever and ever, I will love you. You're the only one who died for me. You gave your life to set me free. So I lift my voice to you in adoration. Thank you very much.
Keji, thank you very much.
We give God praise. We give God praise.
Welcome back to the concluding part of the Keji Hamilton story. If you remember, he was Fela'S right-hand man. He's keyboardist. He was into all kinds of things. You know, I love T.D. Jakes, and by now I'm sure you know he's my best author. He says that criminals make the best ministers because with the same passion they went into crime, is that same passion they go into worshiping God. You can't do anything without passion. And today, as we round up the Keji Hamilton story, I hope you'll be able to pick something that will help you as you take your work to discover the purpose that God created you for. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this time outs. Keji, why did you pick that particular song to play?
Because the power that saved me, that snatched me from Calcutta Republic, it was overwhelming. And then the other thing is that after I got saved, a lot of people still doubted me in the church whether I was saved. So when I look at that, he's the only one that died for me. So I don't need to feel bad if anyone even judge my salvation.
So you said, the last time we talked, you said after you made that commitment, not to touch marijuana or cocaine.
Yeah.
And then you walked down the street, somebody offered you a wrap.
That's right. So. And I said, I told him, I said, look, I can never smoke that thing again till I die. And he said, what happened? You were here yesterday night to buy some stuff. I told him I don't really know what happened, because I've not had a formal experience with a man or woman of God. I just said all I know is that yesterday night something happened to me I cannot really explain, you know. And from then till date.
How many years now?
14. It's going to be 14 on May 7th this year. It's going to be 14 years.
And then what turn did your life take after that?
Wow. I passed through a lot of storms. I was homeless for some years.
You mean you left the hotel room?
I left the hotel room. I could not go home. I could not go anywhere. I was just squatting from one place to the other for about 6-7 years.
For 6-7 years?
Yes, but every day I took up a new job. What was the job? Every day I go on evangelism from 7 a.m. in the morning and come back by 5 p.m. Preached in buses, motorway buses, downfall buses, in brothels.
What did you know to preach? You didn't know anything. You hadn't been to church.
Yeah, but you know, after I gave my life to Christ, after preaching in that joint, I went back to the hotel room. I now took one of the tracts. I read it. I saw the church address, Assemblies of God, Ilasabaja. I went there, then officially gave my life to Christ. There was an evangelist preaching that day, and he called for 4 days. He said there was going to be, he was an invited guest. He said there was going to be a 4 days revival we should attend. I attended the 4 days. The 4th day, he called the Holy Ghost baptism. I cannot forget the message. He titled it, Avoid Power Leakage. And after the message, he said, you are going to pray for the baptism of the Holy Spirit. But before then, I had experience for the past 3 days that I got saved, that when I closed my eyes to pray, I would see myself half light and half darkness. I knew something was wrong, but I could not tell anybody. So when he said we should pray for the baptism of the Holy Ghost, what I said was, God, I don't know what they are talking about, baptism of the Holy Ghost. All I know is that after this prayer, the next time I close my eyes and I see myself half light and half darkness, I'll throw away the Bible and I'll go back to shrine. But I fell on that anointing. By the time I got myself, the church has closed. About 2 hours earlier, I was the only one left on the floor. And the guys told me, I got up speaking in tongues, and they told me I manifested and all that. I didn't understand what they were saying. Until today, I'm still speaking in tongues. So right from there, one of the gentlemen that used to come to around the hotel, I didn't see him for some time. He now came, and I told him I was in your church. Then he said I should escort him. Then me and him started that brutal evangelism. Till date, I still do it. Now I work hand in hand with some rehabilitation centers. We picked about 25 people from Mushin, Akala. It's a notorious place for drugs. Yes. We pick them for rehabilitation. We go there every Thursday for evangelism and all that. And there's some hotels around that area I got saved, Keyboardist and all that, where we go and preach to prostitutes also and try to snatch them out.
Okay, so for 6-7 years you were homeless?
Homeless, yeah.
You were sleeping from? One
place to the other. I sleep here. After a month, the person said, go and look for somewhere to stay. But I was still preaching, and I fasted for 237 days. 237 days, because I could not beg anybody money by the reason of my status. I was too big-headed to beg, and I had no job. All the job I ever did was to play music. Now I've given it up. So there was no job.
So you were fasting because you didn't have money to eat?
Yeah.
So you assume God wanted you to fast?
That is it.
When I didn't have money to eat, I did the
same thing. And it has helped me, because today I can still fast. And I've contacted some
What happened after the 230?
After 237 days, yes. Now I started seeing that I had some dreams. I knew that God had a plan for my life. Yeah. But I was still kept struggling. By now I started growing in the church. They've made me, they baptized me. I become a full member after some classes. I was a Sunday school teacher. From Sunday school teacher, they voted me as a youth secretary and then youth vice president. From then I became the Sunday school superintendent, which is the last post before I go to Bible school for pastor. Then I left Assemblies of God. And I joined Winners. Then in Winners in 1997, 97, 98, then in 99, I went to Bible school. I finished Bible school, then I joined House on the Rock. All this time I was still squatting. Then in 99/2000, where I was squatting again, they said I should find somewhere to stay. So I called the guy, I told the guy, I said, give me 21 days. If God does not give me anywhere to stay, I will still sleep under the bridge and still serve God. But fortunately, that same week, God sent somebody my way who told me he's been looking for me for 4 years. And he gave me an accommodation in Victoria Garden City, which he paid for 4 years. That began the miracle of my lifting.
Had you known him before? The person?
They come to Shrine. They saw my absence at Shrine. They've been looking for me. He wanted me to do an album.
And I told him I'm not interested in music, that I want to work for God.
He now gave you a place.
He gave me a place and then talked me into recording, sponsored it and all that. But we could not release it, and he relocated to Dublin. But fortunately now, we were able to complete the album with a different outfit. Somebody I was doing campus evangelism with 12 years ago, 10 years ago, who is now based in England, is the manager of my management organization in UK. So the album is done. I have 6 tracks. I have songs like Forever Live Jesus, Original Power that talks about the power of the Holy Spirit, Innocent Blood, and all that. Strictly Afrobeat. I have a 13-piece band.
Hold the thoughts, hold the thoughts. Isn't God just great? I tell people God brings people to your life for a time and a season. And once they have completed what they need to do in your life, they go. But if they haven't, God will always keep them until they have accomplished what they need to accomplish. Don't go away, so that you hear how Pastor Hamilton is faring today. We'll see you after this time out. Glad you're still here to listen to the concluding part of Keji Hamilton's story. Pastor Keji,
Yeah,
you have done evangelism, you have met people who were once like you.
that's right.
You rehabilitate them.
That's right.
And then what happens?
Well, after rehabilitation, they take skills. Though I don't have a rehabilitation of my own now.
Yeah.
So I work in hand with some rehabilitations around town.
Yeah.
We have Wellspring Rehabilitation Center, an arm of Redeem, a Papa family. And they also have Kadam. So when I pick these people up, majorly from Mushi and Surulere area, and some from Keji area, I go to the joints, where they smoke. I go in there, evangelize to them, and then after rehabilitation, they go ahead for the second stage, which is acquiring skills. And then after acquiring skills, some money is raised to set them up. Some have become hairdressers, some have become mechanics, some have become drivers, some have become computers operators, and some are going back to school. Even right now, the last said, some of them are taking GC, they want to go back to school.
Do you, when you take them to this rehabilitation center, you follow up to find out how?
Of course I follow up, because the job is continuous. It's continuous.
And then you said you went to Bible school.
Yeah.
Have your own church?
I have my own church.
What's the name of the church?
Tabernacle of Prayer Global Ministries. It's situated in Surulere.
When you see people, did you go back to your father?
Oh, I went the year I gave my life, and he was really angry. He said because when he was naming me Suleiman, it cost him 2 rams. He bought the first one. As he got home, as they were bringing the ram down from the car, the ram died. So they had to buy another one. So he said he was not going to watch me be a Christian. So 8 months after I gave my life to Christ, he passed on.
How about your mom?
My mom is still alive. She's in
Your
Edo
mom
State.
accepted you.
That she has, yes. We are very friendly.
When you sit back and look back on your life,
That's right.
then and now,
Yeah.
what do you think?
Oh,
What do you feel?
it's so great to have Jesus Christ in one's life. In the past, I had no life. I was living the life of somebody else. I was only living for somebody.
Fela had become an idol in your life.
My idol, yes. I actually pray over my food with his name.
When you want to eat, you pray over
I
your
pray
food
with
his name.
Fela'S name. I worship him. There are some of us that were with Fela that still worship him. Some people still worship Fela. Even in France, some white people worship Fela. They have a shrine. Yeah.
When you read today, thou shalt have no other God besides me, how do you?
I thank God that I used to have other gods, but I have only one God. And I feel sorry for those who are still serving other gods.
Are you married?
I am married. I have a beautiful wife.
Did you tell her your story before?
Oh, she knows everything about me.
Was that before you married her or after you married her?
Before I married her.
Was she a
And
member
even
of your
after.
church?
And I keep remembering some things, and I keep telling her. Yeah, she was my convert. I never knew I was going to marry her. When she became my convert, I wasn't called into full-time ministry. So I planted her in Winners then. So when I eventually came into ministry, she withdrew and came back. And I still didn't know she was going to be my wife. But at the point in time, God spoke to me and said, listen, if you don't get married now, if anything happens to your ministry, you have yourself to blame. Because initially when I got saved, I said I wasn't going to marry. Because I fall in love over and over, and I thought women were out of the issue.
Because of the kind of
the past life. So when God eventually spoke, one day I was praying in the morning, and she came into the church with some other girls and boys. They wanted to go for evangelism, and the Lord told me, lift up your eyes. I lifted up my eyes where I was weeping and worshiping God. And he said, that's your wife. Initially I argued. But
why did you argue?
because, I was thinking that maybe this is not the kind of woman I want, Okay, but then, the moment after that day, I started falling in love stronger and stronger with her. So I called her up and I told her, look, you need to go and pray. I think God wants us to marry. So we've been married since 2002. I have a baby girl. And we live together.
Have a baby girl?
Yeah, baby girl.
If she gets up today and says, I want to go and dance with whoever knows who will appear, what would you say to her?
Oh, I will counsel her. And I will pray.
I know, because
pray.
it's always better to fight your battles on your knees. I tell
right.
people I fight my battles on my knees.
That's right.
Because that's the battle that God settles beautifully. Nothing can be added.
That's right.
Nothing can be subtracted. Well, when we come back, you'll get to meet Mrs. Favor Hamilton. The Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor. And he tells me that he actually changed his wife's name and called her Favor. But see, how much of favor has come into his life since he met her? Don't go away. As we get the concluding parts of the Keji Hamilton's story. See you after the standouts. You're welcome back. I told you when we come back, we'll get to meet Favor. And like the husband talked about her, we're going to ask her if she knew all those things before she finally said yes. And what life is like with the man she's been married to for a couple of years and a daughter. Favor, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You knew about your husband, everything he was doing,
Very well.
and you still went ahead and married him.
Yes, of course.
You were not afraid that he would go back to that lifestyle.
No, not at all.
How did you meet?
We met in church, and I've been under his ministry. I do hear him saying he was not going to get married. He wants to live his life like Apostle Paul.
Yes.
I said, okay. But the very first time he proposed to me, I was surprised because I do see him as a pastor. My pastor, even till today, I tell people, I know he's my husband, but first of all, he's my pastor. When I told a friend of mine that Pastor Keji proposed to me, he said, what? I haven't heard his story, and I still want to go ahead. I said, I believe he's a changed man. So God, all things are passed away.
Yes.
All things are become new. That was old Keji. This is new Keji.
And God had taken him, cleansed him. How do you feel being married to him? How does it feel?
Yeah, I felt great from the first day because I've been aspiring to be a pastor's wife.
That's wonderful. Because people say being a pastor's wife is a very difficult job. People coming for counseling, women coming for this, coming for that.
Yeah, that's their own point of view. I've ever dreamed of being a pastor's wife. Whenever I see Fit Oyedepo, it inspires me and many other pastors' wives. And I said, someday I'm going to be a pastor's wife.
Do you counsel people in church?
Of course I do.
Do you preach?
Yes.
Have you gone to Bible school?
Yeah.
And how is your daughter?
She's fine.
So how is church?
We thank God. The church is moving. God's hand is upon our church. And one of the proof that indeed God has called Pastor Keji into the ministry is because of the testimonies. And really, we appreciate God that indeed his hand is upon the ministry. And that gives us strength to move ahead.
When he goes out evangelizing and goes to the prostitutes to talk to them, you don't have any fear that he might fall?
No, I believe it's his passion. As long as his passion does not want anything that may want to tarnish his image and his ministry. So he has a focus.
So, Pastor Keji,
Yes.
I thank you for coming to share your story.
Thank you so much, you did.
You know, it's you telling your story today and using the pain you have gone through to heal others.
That's right.
God will continuously send you healing in your life.
Amen.
In the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen.
And your daughter will grow up to be a thing of joy. The Bible says that your daughters will be like pillars sculptured in Palestine.
That's right.
That's what your daughter will be.
Hallelujah.
And your son, all the days of your life, will give you joy.
Amen.
Because you have come to the realization that you were towing a wrong path.
That's right.
And when you came to the realization,
Yeah.
you made a U-turn.
Definitely.
And God will keep you and you'll never be derailed.
Amen.
And your ministry will grow from strength to strength.
In Jesus'
And He
name.
will always send you a word in due season.
Amen.
So that when you go out witnessing, the Spirit of God will go with you.
Amen.
And then will grant you favor before whoever you will minister to.
Amen.
And you will continue to bring people out of the kingdom of darkness into the kingdom of light.
In Jesus' name.
Madam, you'll continue to be His strength of support. And favor that He has named you will encompass the two of you.
Amen.
And your whole ministry.
Amen.
Thank you very much for
Thank
sharing.
you so much, Judy.
Thank you.
I'm grateful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Draw me close to you. Never let me go. I lay it all down again to hear you say that I'm your friend. You were my desire. Will do. 'Cause nothing else can take your place. You feel the warmth of your embrace. Let me find a way, lead me back to you. Well, thank you very much. It has been Keji Hamilton. In case you want to know more about me, you can click to my email address, melvinoak@yahoo.com. I have an album which is on sale on the internet, yet to be released because I've not found physical distributors yet. But you can listen to my album on MySpace. But you can search Google, search Keji Hamilton, and when it comes up, click MySpace. You see my album there. You can listen to the tracks there and can also get to be my friend. Thank you so much.
T.D. Jakes says that ministry gives purpose to pain, and you'll never be healed until you use your pain to heal others. Keji Hamilton has told us his story. The pain, the shame, drug, marijuana, cocaine, the women. Today, he's gone through all of those things. He knows what it feels like to be homeless. He knows what it feels like to be on drugs and to get off drugs. The grace of God was upon his life, so he didn't have to go through the things most people who try to withdraw from drugs go through. God gave him instant healing. And today, he goes around, brothel, streets, picking up the ones they rejected. He rehabilitates them and makes sure he finds something for them to do so that they don't go back to that same life. What is your ministry? What are you doing? What is that pain that you have gone through? Jesus Christ healed our pain because of his pain. Get up. That bed that you're lying on, someone needs to hear your story. Someone needs to be healed by your story. Because if they realize that you have come through life's dark tunnel, they will realize that they too can overcome. Pastor Keji Hamilton's story is healing. You just have to key into it. Today, he runs a church, he's married, he has a daughter, his life is complete, and he has found Christ above all of that. Stop nursing your pain. Stop nursing that humiliating circumstance. Stop nursing that controversies you've been through. Stop nursing that bad name you have been called. We all have been called. I have been called. It's for you to go to God in prayer. Father, why did I have to go through all this? What is the lesson I have to learn? And when you have keyed into the lesson that he wants you to learn, then the healing process begins. Get up. God takes the broken and the wounded and he heals them to make them clinicians of healing and instruments of life. Until I come your way another time, my name is Uduak Abasi, meaning God's will, perfect will of God. Thanks for allowing us into your homes. Goodbye and God bless.
Like me, nobody can hate me, I'm blessed.